And also when we talk about the theme, the topic which we have discussed, regulation of the big techs, the cyber security, cyber crimes, AI, artificial intelligence. So this of course is so much relevant today. And when we are talking about this, we all generally have to understand and accept that yes, our younger population is much more prone to it. The younger India is much more prone to it because you all have access to all these platforms. You have access to all the digital platforms which are available in India and in the entire world. And so when we are talking about the data security, when we are talking about how artificial intelligence is beneficial or what are the loopholes, what are the fallouts. So we definitely need to understand that India is the youngest country in the world, and I'm always, whenever I'm talking to students like you, I'm always reminded about the former president, Bharat Ratna, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Sir's quotes have been always so inspiring, so motivating, and he always held his belief in the strength and potential of Yuva Shakti, of the young youth power of the country. So you all just can't make yourself go in any direction. You need to have that focus, you need to have that direction in your mind. And I reiterate a quote which I generally refer in my speech is that Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam sir has said that as a young citizen of India, empowered with ambition, innovation and passion for my country, empowered with innovation, ambition and passion for my country, I realize that having a small aim is a crime. I realize that having a small aim is a crime. So this quote is so much relevant for all of us that yes, if we want to be part of India's growth story, having a small aim is not at all justified. We need to have our ambitions, we need to have our goals, our vision, which are contributing towards the development of our country. So my dear friends, my dear colleagues, so when we are talking about data security, when we are talking about the cyber crime, cyber security, so why do we need to discuss it more now? Because there was a time when all the kind of crimes were being reported, mostly physical crimes. But now the number of FIRs which are being registered in the domain of cyber policing, the cyber crimes, online harassment, especially with respect to the women. So there is a significant increase in last few years, and especially after COVID-19 pandemic hit all of us since 2020, because there was a compulsion to shift from the physical mode of education to the digital mode. Schools had online classes, so students, even my daughter, she is now in class 6. So in class 4, she was having her online classes because there was no other alternative. And when a young child of her age, or even a college going student or a school going student who is in class 10, 11, when there is a hormonal development, when there are so many changes in our reproductive system, so there is definitely a much larger scope of youngsters indulging in crimes, and they need not be intentional always. They may be sometimes unintentional, but then it has a very larger impact on the life of the victim, on the growth and development of the victim. So what we need to understand is that when we are talking about cyber security, the first and foremost thing which is required is the awareness of what is available to you, what kind of information is available to you, what kind of websites, what kind of platforms you are accessing, what kind of Instagram, what kind of, there are so many things which are available, and it is all free. You don't need Therefore, when we talk about being a commerce student or being a working professional in administration, we always talk about ease of doing business. So now this ease of doing crime has become so easy because this is available to everybody and everybody. You don't need to pay anything. You must have seen about the fake profiles, fake IDs being created, and then there are messages. Even 2 years back, there was a fake profile created in my name, and there was then a senior officer brought it to my notice that somebody has created a fake profile in your name, and then he is asking for some money. And now it is a routine affair. We see it is reported so frequently. So why is this all happening? Because youngsters feel that it is a mechanism or a method for easy money. Easy money, and then the other aspect also is that probably the enforcement also is comparatively lower because the reporting of crime is also lower. The percentage of crime, for example, if you get 5,000 siphoned off, there is some message for payment of your electricity bill, and then in ignorance you are responding and you are paying the electricity bill, and then later on you discover, oh, this was a fake message and this payment I have been cheated. But then we hesitate on making a complaint because the amount is so small. We feel who will take all this trouble of maybe reporting, getting an FIR made, right? So this, and just imagine that one person who is actually doing all this, he is having one victim like this, so he may be doing it with n number, 100, 200, we don't know. So what we need to say is that firstly the awareness is very important, and also it is very important that reporting is done. So that reporting is also very important, and then comes the part of enforcement. India is proudly hosting the G20 presidency. We have seen how different conferences on different topics is being organized all throughout the country, and recently in July 2023, Gurugram hosted the G20 conclave on cyber security, artificial intelligence. And there, Honorable Home Minister Sir, he made a very important point, and he mentioned that we need to have an open and secure digital platforms, and more so we need to protect the vulnerable groups of the population, especially the women and the youth. He mentioned about women and the youth, who are the vulnerable population. So therefore this needs to be addressed. We all need to talk more about it, have more awareness about it, and also National Cyber Security Act has been recently enacted, and we have so many rules and provisions. So what is required is that there should be more and more such dialogue. We also need to bring forth what is being done. And now being part of administration, I can share that now most of these schemes we have digital payments. Whether it is National Manrega scheme, whether it is Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, and for that matter, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. So all these schemes have digital method of payment to the accounts of the beneficiary. So there is definitely a more risk when we talk about the disbursement of the payments. So therefore in the rural areas also we need to have this kind of an awareness. Maybe that poor beneficiary who is working in a remote area of Tripura, of Arunachal, he or she may not even know if there is such kind of a cyber fraud which has occurred. So therefore there is need for awareness, and awareness not only in the urban areas, it is also very much required in the villages, it is also very much required in the rural areas. Of course now the central government and all state governments are having separate cells for monitoring and controlling cyber crimes. They have special units which are dedicated for handling these kinds of crime. But we all need also to contribute effectively away from all this. We should not be perpetuators. We should not contribute to this. And wherever you find any such instance that has happened with you or your colleague, the immediate reaction should be that it should be reported. Even if it is of a small nature, it should be reported because it may be small for that victim, but if we have that total corpus of that particular person who is committing it, it may be a very large number. So therefore, the requirement is of a collaborative approach, of a partnership approach, and whenever we are talking about digital India, the digital India is a very important and a proud initiative of Government of India, and we have so many, the connectivity up to the Gram Panchayat level. We have VSATs for the education and the classroom facilities even in the government schools. So what is more required is that the data which is available to the students, the data which is available to the youngsters, that is secure. And also when we talk about now artificial intelligence, so AI, everybody is accessing artificial intelligence, ChatGPT. You type 2 lines and you get such a good draft of your speech. It is such an easy tool now which is available to all of us. But should we be using it too often? I really do not recommend. Why? It definitely will kill your own creativity. It will restrict your thinking ability, your capacity to innovate. And this is the age wherein you will develop your own mindset, you will develop your own thinking power, your creativity. And if you just depend on these artificial intelligence tools, of course they may be helpful in improvising. The basic idea you may have, they may help in improvising. But we definitely should not be dependent on them, because your own idea, your own creativity would be groomed in this entire age when you are actually in the youth. And as you grow up, your thinking, your mindset, your orientation will definitely improve. But if you start using and depending only on the AI, you will definitely be limiting your capacity to think, to innovate, to be original, because that each individual has a different way of writing. So many students, even in the faculty of law who are studying, they must be preparing for competitive examinations, civil services examination, state civil services examination. So if you have this habit, UPSC, when this question has been asked, let us see what ChatGPT is writing. So ChatGPT will give the same answer to all the students who are writing. So then how will you score good marks? Why will the examiner give you good score? Right? So you have to maintain your originality, you have to have that idea in you and believe in your potential. That is very, very important, that whenever we are talking about crimes and whenever we are talking about cybersecurity, cybercrime, so why a citizen is searching in this? Maybe because of easy money, maybe because of, and when we are talking about the online harassment, it is more being reported of in the case of females, the online sexual harassment of females. So why should we all be indulging in all this? So have that clarity in your mind that we would never be part of the other side. We have to be a responsible citizen, and as Swami Vivekananda ji, who has been always advocating the strength of the youth power, he said that all power is within you and you can do everything and you can achieve anything. All power is within you, you can achieve anything and everything. So why should we resort to these shortcuts? There is no shortcuts to success. There is no replacement to your hard work. I really don't believe in the concept of smart work. Smart work will only succeed when your intentions are true and when you complement with your 100% efforts. Right? So have faith in yourself. Be responsible citizens of our country, and we have many esteemed guests on the dais who would be speaking on this very important and relevant subject. So my congratulations to the entire team of Delhi University Students' Union for organizing such a very important conclave. And this discussion should not stop. I always request the students, whatever learning you are having in these kind of seminars, please go and think over what has been discussed. What are your learning points? What are the key takeaways? There must be from this seminar, from this panel discussion of almost 2 hours, there would be at least 4 or 5 key takeaways which you will receive. Go and research about them, learn about them, try and implement in your life. That is the success of any such seminar. And this is a 2 days conference. I am very much sure you will immensely benefit from this. My heartiest congratulations to all of you. Thank you so much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.